Hey guys, it's Brie. Today I figured we would take a sec and talk about my favorite books so far of 2016. There are a lot of really good books that I've read this year. I've been really lucky. So there are a couple of books in particular that I wanted to highlight. The first one that I'm going to talk about is Giant Days. I have here volumes 1 and 2. This is the only comic that I'm going to be talking about, though everybody knows I love Descender, and Descender Volume 2 is no exception. Absolutely no exception. But this is a really fun contemporary series about 3 girls in college who are kind of trying to figure out what it means to be adults. There are 3 main girls, one who has what they call a drama force field, one who has a mysterious enemy who we don't know why she hates him, and another who is just venturing out of her home for the first time after having been homeschooled her whole life. And all 3 of them are adjusting to independence, to kind of individual responsibility and social life as adults. And I really enjoyed it. There's just a lot of really fun aspects of it that I think are truly reminiscent of what it's like to be in college. The next book that I'm going to mention, I actually don't have a physical copy of with me. That's because I lent it out. That's Every Heart a Doorway by Shannon McGuire. This is a really fantastic novella. It's beautiful, absolutely elegantly done. It's about a girl named Nancy who has been taken to a fairy underworld. And when she returns to her parents' home, they can't really get over the fact that she's not their happy-go-lucky, pink-wearing, glitter-loving little girl anymore. She's been kind of forever changed by what they think is a kidnapping. And so they send Nancy away to school. Unbeknownst to them, this school is specific to children who have been taken into fairylands and returned. It's supposed to be a place for them to go to figure out how to cope with life in the real world when all they really want is to go back to fairylands. This is a really beautifully done story about fitting in and growing up, about what it's like when the world sees you as someone other than who you are. There are really just some fantastically done characters, and on top of that it has really cool, funny things like a young girl who's a mad scientist and vampires and ghosts and all of that good stuff. It's one of those books that I would really truly suggest that you pick up. The third book I have is On the Edge of Gone by Corinne Davis. This is a story about a young girl with autism. Her name is Denise. And Denise is living in a time when we know the world is going to end. They've detected an asteroid, they know vaguely when it's going to hit, and so everyone is either going into underground bunkers or leaving Earth. Denise was supposed to be in one of those bunkers that were supposed to be safety shelters, but her family doesn't make it there on time, and so their only option is for Denise to convince them to take her onto one of the generation ships. This is difficult because everyone on a generation ship has to be extremely useful, and Denise doesn't know if she can do that with her autism. On top of that, Denise's mother is a drug addict. This is a really fantastic portrayal, I think, of autism in general, but also autism under stress. It's also a really enjoyable book just on its own. The plot is fun and fast-paced, the characters are really well done and interesting, the story is engaging and really, really quite likable. It's YA-oriented without sacrificing a lot of the science behind a generation ship. In fact, I would suggest this to a lot of people who are starting off science fiction, because this, I think, is a well done, very poignant introduction to science fiction if you've never had science fiction on your shelves before. This next one is a little different. This is Borderline by Michelle Baker. This is an urban fantasy, actually, or at least I would classify it as an urban fantasy. This is about a woman named Millie, and Millie is recovering from a suicide attempt which cost her her legs and her career. She was a creative director for film and looking forward to a really bright future, but with some mental illness problems, she kind of just couldn't cope with some of the stressors. and so she tried to take her own life, unsuccessfully. At the time when we enter this story, she's living in a treatment facility and is kind of at a loss as to what to do with herself. And then this woman, Carol, shows up and offers her the chance to work with something called the Arcadia Project. It's a mysterious organization, and in exchange for agreeing to take on employment and kind of a no questions asked policy, they bring on Millie, who then finds out that she's being kind of brought on as a border patrol guard for the world between fairy and human. This is a really well done story. It's not up my normal alley, but I really liked a lot of it. It's fast paced and witty, and the characters are really likable and enjoyable. And at the same time, it has this kind of more serious undertone, which I think it balances really well. I'll link to my full review of this one below because I have a lot of thoughts actually on it. Last one that I have is yet another that I have in my sights, or that I would not be surprised if it makes the Hugo shortlist next year. That's the Geek, Feminist Revolution by Cameron Hurley. This is an essay collection that came out this year, and it is really engaging. It is critical and thought-provoking and funny all at the same time. It's a series of essays, some of which were posted on Cameron's blogs, some that were posted as articles for newspapers, and some which she wrote just for this book. And they're all about what it is like to be a woman, and particularly a woman in geek culture. She talks a lot about the business side of things and coping with fans and overcoming your own fears about writing, and it's really just well worth reading. So there you have it. Those are 5 of the books I've really been enjoying reading this year. Let me know what is on your top 5 of the year so far. I'll talk to you later. Bye.